All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Go! This is the podcast!
Are you telling me that you built a time machine out of a podcast?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and
podcast.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Hey everyone, welcome to Get to the Podcast. That's Get to the Podcast with the number 2. My name is Diego D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
As Nick is flicking me off, and I'm flicking
not
right back. Yeah, you are. That's a chopstick
it's a
flick off.
Yeah, it's a chopstick flick off.
Yeah,
it's a chopstick flick.
Chopstick flick.
Speaking
of flicks, what was that?
I was trying to do Predator. I can't.
That was a dying
Oh,
Predator.
you gotta get it like,
Speaking of flicks.
yeah, like something like that. Like, I can't do it. He does it. Oh yeah, that's kind of there.
Oh yeah,
That sounded familiar.
Yeah. Why you? What, did you just want to throw that chopstick at me?
No,
or something?
you always have this. He has one of these.
Who's he?
You. You have one of these permanent. You know, not a disposable little wooden chopstick. You have one of these ceramic. What are these fucking plastic or whatever?
Yeah.
You always have it right here. So I'm always playing with this fucking
Oh,
thing.
I didn't know.
Yeah, you can't put chopsticks in front of me and not expect me to play with them.
Ooh, chopsticks, the fun thing.
Is that a thing?
Correct? I don't
That's
know.
the thing.
Okay, go ahead. What are you going to talk about? Go ahead. So,
I
I
was saying, speaking of flicks,
yes, The Predator.
The Predator.
So by the time this episode
opening.
drops, The Predator should be out or
Shane Black.
Shane Black.
Nice
Writing
guys.
and directing. Okay, let's talk about this
Kiss
guy.
Bang Bang.
Yeah, we talked about him many times, but Shane Black, I love his writing. I love Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, all this. But
Yeah.
he was also Hawkins
Hawkins
in the original Predator. He's
yeah.
an actor as well. And
Was
not
he a
only
writer
that,
on Predator?
No, he wasn't a writer.
Okay.
But not only that, he wrote the original Lethal Weapon, and Last Boy Scout, and did work on Last Action Hero. But not only that, but
Yeah.
Fred Dekker wrote the script with him. Now, the last time Fred Dekker and Shane Black teamed up was for the Monster Squad. They haven't. Oh my God, this is amazing. I love this. Like, I love that these two guys are back together doing this. Anyways,
Yeah.
I'm excited about this. Fred Dekker also did Night of the Creeps or whatever.
Oh,
Yeah, the
I like
original-
that
the
movie.
original, yeah.
Oh, I love Night of the Creeps.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
solid
Oh,
film.
that was
That's
a
the one
great
with
one.
like the leech
little
things
worms.
or
Yeah, the leech
whatever?
things. Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That's like I feel like that movie Slither was supposed to be kind of like
It was.
like
It was actually
almost a
really good.
remake.
Slither was an underrated film, I think.
I like Slither.
It was really funny. So.
It's one of those movies that like walks the border of like grotesque and like
Yeah.
you just are like
The
you know it
big
like
lady.
gets under your skin. You're like oh like what the fuck.
Remember the lady that just kept getting fatter because
Yeah.
she had a leech in him or in her or whatever, and she just
Yeah.
I'm just hungry.
Some of these movies are like they're like fun and whatever, but then when they do that kind of stuff, you're like, oh,
That was
Yeah.
just foul. Yeah.
I feel like it's a turn off for the audience.
Yeah,
All right,
so
so-
it just goes too far.
Yeah.
The grotesque.
Yeah.
Okay, but these guys are reteaming. They haven't teamed up since Monster Squad, which was I think 87.
Yeah.
So excited. Okay, I think let's see when's this episode dropping? We're gonna be dropping in a couple weeks. So the Predator is coming out.
It's like
Just why-
September 14th or 15th
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, be more excited, man. September 13th. So, and this episode will drop the 11th. So, in a couple days, The Predator is going to be out, and we're excited about this, right?
Yeah.
I think we're excited.
Oh, I'm excited.
We're
Yeah.
fans of the whole franchise. I love every single
I will
movie.
say so. I have to out Nick over here, who's never seen Alien versus Predator.
Listen, I'm a big
never
fan of
seen
every Predator movie.
Alien
up
versus
to two.
Predator
No, I'm sorry.
Requiem,
Up
and
in-
has never
up in-
seen Predators.
up in two, including
directed by
two.
How
Robert
can you
Rodriguez.
not seen Predators?
That's
I haven't
crazy.
seen Predators. I haven't
So
seen
here's-
Alien versus Predator.
Predators
So
was
here's
a
the thing.
solid ass film.
Okay.
Aliens.
I do like Robert Rodriguez.
Aliens
Yeah.
versus Predator, I understand. I watched those. I'm just a fanatic for Aliens.
Yeah.
So I watched those.
I watched them
and I
just 'cause of the
personally
aliens.
liked them because I love the storyline. I didn't care. I know that they weren't great films.
Yeah.
But Predators is that movie that I think Nick will want to be a sequel because it gives homage to the very first one, and they talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
where-
they reference Arnold.
They
in it,
reference
yeah.
What about
Arnold.
Dylan, that son of a bitch? Do they reference him?
No,
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
he lost his
Dylan-
arm.
But
You son of a
apparently Predators is so good that this The Predator movie is completely ignoring Predators and Alien vs. Predator
Well,
and all
they
that.
can.
They're just acknowledging
they
the two
can
that I've
ignore
seen.
Predators. If you'd seen it, you understand
'Cause
why.
it's in the future? All right, I don't want to talk about it.
It's not in the future.
Okay, let's not talk about it. Let me just watch it. I'll
So
see
you don't know the premise?
Wow.
I played the mobile game on my phone once. And you play as the Predator
it's
running
actually
around a field.
just the concept. Like the first 5 minutes
It's
of that movie,
great.
you're like,
I can't.
oh, this actually makes total sense. Like
Yeah.
that the Predators would do this. Like this is crazy.
Right. Oh no, yeah, it's that hunt. It's that the like
the hunt.
arena, almost like that.
Yeah.
Like in that space, right? It's like the field or whatever.
It's almost like a Twilight Zone-ish
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
film. It's really good.
Adrian Brody, Michelle Rodriguez is in it.
and I'm
Walton
like, how
Goggins.
do you take Adrian
Topher
Brody
Grace.
and turn him into like the
Alice
beefcake
Braga.
like badass of that film?
Yeah.
Because he's like the main badass
Yeah.
type guy.
I mean,
or
check
whatever.
out this line. Adrian,
But they're all killers.
You
Like,
got
they're
Adrian
all-
Brody,
Yeah,
Alice Braga,
Predators.
Topher Grace,
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne, Danny Trejo,
Trejo.
Walton
Trejo.
Goggins. Trejo. I
Trejo.
went Latin on this
Danny
shit.
Trejo?
You didn't. No, Trejo would be more Latin than
Trejo.
Trejo.
Is
Yeah,
that the correct
Trejo.
pronunciation?
No, it's Trejo.
Trejo.
Yeah,
Yes,
you said Trejo.
Trejo.
Yo, just acknowledge that you
Trejo.
fucked up. I know.
Trejo.
You said Trejo. You said
Do you know in
Trejo.
Latin language the J is pronounced
Nick,
differently in almost
Nick.
every country?
We're not recording
country?
this, so there's
Yeah.
no way to go
You
back.
white
and-
Exactly. I'm like, yeah.
You white
Acknowledge that you were
person trying
wrong.
to be Latin.
Acknowledge that you said
This
Trejo.
guy, he can't help it.
Acknowledge that you said Trejo.
Yes, I understand
Thank-
that. I know I
apologize,
said that.
apologize.
No, I'm not apologizing.
Apologize.
I'm like
All right,
Portuguese
continue.
English, so I can mix them up. Anyway, Oleg Taktrov. This one I don't get.
You are slaughtering these names.
You know,
Tarov.
Danny Glover shows up in this movie.
No, he doesn't. Oh,
kidding.
man. If you just said that,
That
I'd be
would be
like, well, we're
amazing.
ending the podcast right now. Go watch it.
Yeah, that's true.
Taktarov.
Okay, what the
this
fuck's
is
going
much-
on over
yeah.
there? Diego,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
give up.
so- no,
Okay.
I'm not giving
Okay,
up.
so all these people are in this movie. That's great.
There's more.
I mean,
Wait.
it makes sense. Danny
There's
Trejo's
more.
in like all of Robert Rodriguez's movies, so it makes sense that he's in this.
I wish they would make a sequel to Predators. The way it ends, like
The
they
way
definitely
it
set
ends,
up
the
for-
way it is, it's
Yeah.
like
I want to
they
see
could
it.
totally
yeah,
make a
you're a
sequel.
dick for not seeing that. I just want to say that.
I don't, it came out during a time period where I wasn't watching a lot of movies. I was in rehab. It wasn't like we didn't have
Oh, yeah.
TVs there. I was
The
there-
cocaine
like-
years.
Yeah, it's the Nick Cocaine Years. We're actually making a TV show. It's a sequel to the Wonder Years. It's called the Cocaine, Years. No, I
Like, it
just
is the same theme song.
yeah, it is. It's have a little help for my cocaine. Yeah.
Wow.
What would you
This is
do
getting
if I
real
snorted a
dark.
line or two? Would
We're
you
going
stand up
too
and
deep
walk
down the
out
rabbit
on
hole.
me? Lend me your straw so I can snort a little coke.
All right.
Anyway, so the thing is, I just missed the fucking movie.
Diego's
giving up. He's
No,
like, I'm
you know
done.
what? Sometimes shit comes out of Nick's mouth and I feel like we get discredited. Like, he's super fucking smart on film stuff. But then when he goes
I know.
off
I'll be honest,
subject-
I thought of this a lot. I'm like, this could be a way more academic podcast if I wasn't just running my fucking mouth.
Hi and welcome
Dropping
to the...
F-bombs every 2 seconds, making
know what?
off-collar
It's
jokes.
I
better
got
to
an
be
idea,
yourself.
Neil.
Color
It's
I got an
always better
idea.
to be yourself, I think.
I got an idea.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Be
restart.
yourself.
We're
That's not a
gonna
good thing.
restart right now, and it's gonna be hi. Welcome to Random Nick Podcast, where we never know what we're gonna get.
We just call it Nick's stream of
true.
he
consciousness.
might have done coke. He might be in his wonder years, or he
We do
might.
not. We do not.
He took a bunch of shit. He doesn't know if they were downers or uppers. It could have been both.
We do not
so we'll
endorse
see.
drug use,
He's
ladies
back
and
in
gentlemen.
there.
This is all just for humor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do not support Nick's drug use.
But
I'm
yeah,
not legalizing heroin.
you should definitely see Predators, and we're all excited for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Predator.
Predator.
The Predator.
Yeah.
I like it. It's.
You two are
it's-
excited.
Wait, so
You're
in
not.
thi-
Okay,
in
we're gonna
this
talk about that. Hold on a
film,
second.
We're gonna
Hold
talk
on.
about
who is the Predator? Is there going to be like a human that becomes the main character?
That's the
because
whole
they've shown
thing. Yeah,
so many
that's
Predator
the
characters.
whole
dog.
thing.
I know there's a Predator dog.
They've already
They-
showed like 2 predators in the
they
trailer.
almost
That's
show-
a giant predator in one of those.
They
So one of them's
almost
like
show
15 feet
a
tall or
predator
something.
being made with human,
It did look like there was like a hybrid.
like a hybrid.
You saw that when he was sitting
Yeah.
on the table and his
Oh.
hands went like. It did look like he could have been a hybrid.
Some ancient
Exactly.
alien shit.
Or they just got one and they're just fucking trying to clone and create a perfect weapon or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
or
I
a lethal
feel
weapon even. Shane Black. Okay, so I want to see. I like the fact it wasn't that funny, but you don't have to be rolling your fucking eyes. All right, I can see
Nobody's
you.
rolling eyes.
Okay, you're doing the rapid eye movement, like what's that? You know, the side eye.
That's true.
That's right,
Oh,
that's what it is.
I guess it never occurred to me. Danny Glover is in Predator 2, and then Shane Black wrote Lethal Weapon, which starred Danny Glover.
Yeah,
and
it's true.
I
yeah,
never made that
Okay,
connection.
the circle.
so
Yeah,
it's
Circle
weird
of
that we're
Life.
not seeing Jake Busey, by the way, in these previews, who's apparently in it and plays Gary
They're trying
Busey's
to hide
son.
it. It's going to be like a surprise.
Yeah.
For fans, but like the general public will be like, What's the big deal?
Yeah, there's a Starship Troopers, because he was in that.
He's going to be in it for 5 minutes.
I want to see this movie because I like that it's doing this thing.
He was also an Enemy of the State.
Yep, and he was in Frighteners.
I saw him in person.
Oh,
He was filming Enemy of the State.
Yeah, in D.C., DuPont Circle.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing, y'all. We talked about this, and we're really excited. I like this new thing they're doing where they're making direct sequels to the better of the films. Like the new Terminator is going to just only acknowledge the first 2 films, And Halloween's only acknowledging the first one.
Yeah.
And the Predator's only acknowledging the first 2. It's a direct sequel to the second Predator movie. And I think that's a good way of rebooting. If you're going to reboot it, do it right. Just make it a sequel to the better ones. And just get a good story. So the first 2, I haven't seen Predators and so on, but I know it's probably not better than the first 2, at least, right? I really like 1 and 2.
You saw how he looked up?
I
It's
look
hard.
up because I'm like,
It's hard.
It would be 3rd for me, but it's still a solid ass film.
Okay,
like,
good.
It's a good
Okay,
film.
but I like 1 and 2 a lot. Like I like 1 a lot, and again, we've talked about this. I like 2 almost as much as the first one. I
do too.
really
When you
like
watch it-
that second one,
When you watch it,
because it's different. They didn't try to redo the first one. They did it in a different
like-
world. They took the same type of Predator, put him in a
There's
different world.
it's a little bit similar, but yeah, it's so different, and it's like
Even
it
the
feels
main
different,
guy is
but it
not
feels
going up-
similar.
The main guy isn't physically up to fighting the Predator. The first one
Danny
you had
Glover?
Arnold. Yeah, he's not up to.
Yeah.
He's not like Arnold Schwarzenegger with the
Dude,
big
he
biceps.
goes hand to hand combat.
Yeah, but he's
No,
not in
but
shape.
he's like a kind of an out of shape older cop, whereas Arnold Schwarzenegger's a perfectly
Oh, I don't think he's
fine-tuned
out of
weapon.
shape, dude.
Are you fucking serious?
Danny Glover's like beefcake, and
What? He
What do
already said he's too old for this shit 2 years earlier. No.
But
5
he-
years
he
earlier,
doesn't
he was
say it
already.
in- he
No, he
doesn't say it
doesn't. But
in
he's
Predator
literally
2.
5 years older than when he was too old for this shit. So
Yeah.
he's
I
an
don't
old
know,
guy. He's
man.
like in his 50s, late 40s, early 50s. He's not Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's
But
what
he's
I'm
a
saying.
good cop, and the Predator like kills all of his.
Right,
buddies.
but look at some of the stuff Arnold's doing in that first movie. Even the guns he's picking up and the shit he's doing. Danny Glover's not doing that. He's not out in the jungle surviving this, okay? I'm just saying.
He's hiding in the meat
concrete
market.
jungle. Yeah, exactly. I'm not saying he wasn't great. I loved it. I'm just saying it was a different thing. They did a different take. They weren't going to try to do another bronze versus bronze kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I like that. I really like that second film.
I like the.
What
the
you're gonna do
one-on-one
when you
thing,
see
though.
when you see Predators,
Yeah.
you're gonna say, "I accept this as I connected to the first 2,
Right.
and I accept it as a 3rd film for it." Not
Okay.
Aliens Requiem, any of those Alien versus
versus
Predator.
Predator.
AVP
Requiem.
thing is like its
are
own
different.
genre.
Those are
It's-
the whole thing.
it's a
but
whole
you're gonna
separate
say
universe.
this is a solid 3rd installment for the first 2.
Right. Well, here's what I want to see, though, by the way, in the new Predator. If you watch the newest trailer, the Red Band trailer, it looks really good. You do see a few different Predators in there. It seems like there's one main Predator that might be coming after them, and you see like a giant Predator at one point. I want to see a fucking Kevin Peter Hall kind of like tall 7'2"
You know,
guy
it's
playing a
weird.
Predator.
Like you haven't seen Alien vs Predator Requiem, but like I watched that trailer and I'm like, I feel like I'm watching a sequel or this or
Requiem?
I feel like I'm watching that movie when I see the trailer for the Predator.
Right.
So now you're going to be able to watch the Predator without having that in your head, and
yeah.
I'm going to watch it and just be comparing it. Like
But
I
you
won't
do
be
this
able
weird
to,
thing where you're comparing, like when we saw Blade Runner 2049, you're like, it just reminds me of Arrival. I'm like, now that I've seen Arrival, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Those movies.
Did I say that?
Yes, because it's the same
you
director.
did.
You're like, literally, it's
I
the same
remember.
ending. And I watched it. I'm like, are you on fucking drugs? You get weird, man. You
Did
just
I
get
say that?
Yeah, you get really
I
weird.
remember
You were like,
thinking
the
it was a
ending was the
solid
same
movie,
premise,
but you were
and then-
you hyped it to like high heaven, like it was like, this incredible film.
I'm like you at Universal
And then I watched
Studios.
it and I was like, it's a solid science fiction film, but I think the original is far superior.
Okay. I do like the first one more, but I also like that
I think
time
the
period of
story is
filmmaking.
better.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like a time thing. I just think it's a better story than the sequel. Anyway, we don't have to go on a tangent,
that's
but-
right. But anyways, the Predator, the new one, I do want to see. I like that trailer. I think that newest Red Band trailer, which I think is a couple months old at this point, looks really good. Like
Yeah.
I like that's rated R. Of course, it's gonna be rated R. But I like the premise of it. I like that it's like this intimate kind of closed. Like it looks like it's like a single base in like the mountains of the woods or whatever. There's a lot of mystery in that trailer. I don't know what's
about
happening.
it. The more you make me feel like, because you're saying the Alien
It's Requiem versus
Requiem.
Predator.
It
Requiem.
sounds like the
Yeah.
same thing.
I mean, I feel like they're I like what they're doing. They're modernizing the Predator universe, and they're basically saying like, yeah, aliens exist, the government knows, and we have like there's military groups or whatever that go and do like whatever it is, like recoveries of like crashed alien shit or whatever. So I get that. Like I get it. Like the conspiracy guys, they're like, oh, this is crazy. Like, oh, see. Right. That's cool, but I feel like the reason the Predator was good is because they were like isolated. It was like an unknown. It was he was cut off. He had to like be creative and inventive and like, you know, use like his Boy Scout skills like Arnold did in the first one, and even Danny Glover to a degree. He had to like, you know, take this thing on by himself. Yeah, you know what I mean? It wasn't like
it was his cop skills.
Yeah, in a weird way, like when you have like 20 people trying to take on a Predator, it doesn't feel as intense or as like close. You know, it doesn't feel as like personal when you have and the Predator's just like killing characters left and right. And you don't ever really you don't connect. Like you wanted Arnold to beat this thing. You wanted Danny Glover to win.
Right.
But when you have like 10 or 15 characters that are all interacting in this universe, it's like, who am I rooting for?
But they may have a main guy like that survives, like a lone
They don't
survivor.
show in the trailer.
First off, that's true. But that guy, I always forget his name, but the blonde-haired guy from Logan.
Yeah,
I really like him as an actor.
He's a good actor.
He's great.
Yeah,
I like the cast.
I thought that was
they
like
got in
Charlie Hunnam. Charlie Hunnam
No,
for a second. I was like,
yeah.
no,
that's
not
that
him.
guy from Logan who was phenomenal in Logan. You know, his main bad guy or whatever. But he's a great actor.
Yeah.
I really, really like him. So I'm like, maybe he's gonna be maybe there's gonna be a lone survivor at the end. Like I don't know exactly how this is gonna go down. It's more of an ensemble. I think the Predators was kind of like that too, though. I haven't seen it, but it seems like a more ensemble thing.
It is, but they have a lot of characters, but they do focus more on Adrian Brody's character.
Predator did that too.
He's the Oscar winner.
Right,
so,
right. But Predator did that as well.
You're an Oscar winner in a Predator film, like they're gonna focus on you.
Unless you're Cuba Gooding Jr.
Yeah. Unless you're oh,
no.
He was in Snow Dogs.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Was it Snow Dogs?
Yeah,
Snow Dogs.
Yeah, and he was in Boat Trip. Was it called Boat Trip?
I own Boat Trip.
Why do you own that movie?
You said it like it was like a confession. Like I actually do own Boat
when
Trip.
DVDs are like the shit, I was just buying every movie that came out every week, and then they came out with Blu-ray, and I was like, "Fuck, is this Blu-ray shit?" Now I gotta rebuy all my shit. I'm like, I'm never buying a movie again.
Did you get Boat Trip on Blu-ray?
No, I have it on DVD.
Oh, okay.
I have like a 2-disc edition.
Okay.
The unrated version.
What the fuck?
No, you don't. They don't even have one of those.
They do have an
They do
unrated
not have,
version.
Yeah, but they don't have a 2-disc edition.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I'll let you borrow it. I have to dig it out. It's like in box somewhere.
I don't think we need to see it.
Have you seen Boat Trip?
I've seen chunks of it to know that I didn't really feel like watching the
It's
whole
based.
thing.
It's like a raunchy comedy, is all it is. Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna come out with a 2-disc.
It's basically Jerry Maguire 2, is what it is with just Cuba. That's what it is. So you're missing out.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's a good movie, rated R for all the good reasons.
Right.
So I'm gonna say my statement about the new Predators.
Yeah, because you don't seem like you're sold
Nah,
on it.
I'm concerned. I mean, I want to see.
I feel
a
like
great
I'm
film.
the most psyched.
Did you
Neil's
like
the
Nice
next.
Guys?
You didn't see it.
Yeah.
You didn't see it.
Yeah.
He didn't see it.
I did see it.
No, you didn't see it.
I saw it.
What's it about?
I did see it. It's with what's his name?
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe
don't
and
help him
no,
out.
it's
Don't help
Russell
him
Crowe.
out.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a
He's
buddy.
doing the
It's
old
a
technique where he's like, it's and then you fill in the blank for
no,
him.
it's a buddy cop film, and I don't remember the one that comes. Two Guns is coming to my head right now.
Yeah, it's not Two Guns.
Yeah, it's not Two Guns,
no.
but I watched it.
Yeah,
Russell
they're
Crowe
not
and
cops
the guy
either.
that played
They're
that was
detectives.
in the fucking
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan
Stop leading me. Then I'll answer. Give me just that extra second.
Well, he
motherfucker.
the same guy.
Yeah.
He wrote and directed that. So I like love that movie.
Yeah.
I love Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
I love.
Why are we
Lethal
talking
Weapon
about this
films.
He did Iron Man 3.
I'm just
by the
bringing
way.
it up,
He
but-
did do Iron Man 3,
Okay. Well, they're
which is actually a decent one.
Yeah.
Not everybody loves
It's
it.
hard. I know it's hard for some directors to transition from like a film like The Nice Guys
Yeah, to a bigger-
this big CG explosion, big large cast ensemble. So many things going on, and I feel like this is probably far more. But I'm sure it's something that he's passionate about.
Yeah.
So that
he
also
did come
makes
full
me
circle
excited.
from the
Yeah,
original,
'cause
which I
it's
think
very-
is really cool.
Yeah,
Like this is Hawkins, one of the original guys in the Predator.
it is kind of cool.
Is writing and directing
the guy
newest
who's
That's
telling
cool.
like you
that's
know,
rare. You don't see that. It's not like you're gonna get the kid who saw "Don't tell him your name, Raymond" or whatever that was in
What was
Lethal
that?
Weapon. It's not like he's directing the Lethal Weapon reboot. You know, that little kid with the 3D glasses or whatever.
Yeah. What was that joke he told in the beginning on the helicopter with the
Oh.
echo and the Native American dude just like he lags and he's like
Billy.
then he
That guy
starts
just died,
laughing.
actually.
He's like,
Yeah.
oh. They actually pulled that guy out of prison to film that movie.
Yeah.
Like he was literally in prison.
That was Billy from 48 Hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was also
Which is crazy. You should watch the making of that movie. Like that movie feels like a fucking like Apocalypse Now type situation when they were shooting the original
everybody's
Predator.
scary as shit. Like
Well, it was like Not that. It was like they actually they filmed in South America. Like they ran into like all kinds of issues while filming. Like it was just like this crazy shoot. And then even Billy, like they had like
I forget his
not
name.
bounty hunters, but they had like what are those guys?
Mercenaries?
No. What's the officers or whatever that check up on people that are like
Parole officers?
Yeah, they had like parole officers like on set while he
Jesus.
was there the whole time.
Well, if he's actually in prison, he's probably prison guards.
But how do you go to like a prison? You're like, hey, can you let this guy out for like 6 months so we can
We'll have
shoot
him
a
back.
film and
Yeah.
then we'll like bring him back or whatever? And they're like, sure. The
Yeah.
warden's like, yeah, why not? Like, when the fuck does that ever happen?
I know. That guy actually died in the last couple of years.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but no, even crazier. I think one of the coolest stories to come out of the original Predator film is that Van Damme was cast as the original Predator, and there's actually
Jean-Claude
Van Damme.
JCVD?
Yeah, he was actually before. This is
No.
before Bloodsport. Yeah, you don't know this story.
He's a short guy.
There's video footage of it, and there's pictures of him on set with like Carl Weathers and everything. It was originally before they had a different vision of what the Predator was going to look like. He was going to be almost like this big anteater little thing. And there's this video footage and pictures of Van Damme in this big rubber kind of bullshit styrofoam suit that looks like an anteater thing. It's red, and he's got like claws, like lobster claws.
This
or
cannot
something.
be real.
100% real. Look it up. I'll get it for you. Anyways, and he's running around, and he was like, and then he got really fucking just pissed off. He's like, this is not what I signed up for. This is not what I want to do. You can't see me. I can't do my karate. He's like, he couldn't do anything. And they finally
No
were
one
like,
did know it's me.
so he basically
That's my
left the film, and they
JCVD,
changed
accent.
up. Yeah, exactly. They changed up, but he was on set, and
Well, they changed it like dramatically from a
Dramatically.
fucking giant ant to the Predator.
I'm gonna show you right fucking now, and your dick's gonna be blown off. It's crazy. Why do I have to go vulgar with it, right?
That's true.
Why? Check this shit out. Look at these photos of him. Just check out some of these photos of Van Damme. His glasses in one of the scenes. This is pre Bloodsport now. I think it may have been within the same year or a year after No Retreat, No Surrender, possibly.
This is Photoshop, dude.
It's not, dude. This is a known story. This is not just. This is him. Look at these photos. This is him, dude. This is in the behind the scenes stuff. Like there's behind the scenes featurettes about this.
Wow.
Retrospectives on
That
this
must
thing.
have been like he wasn't just going to be red like that. They were probably going to.
No,
do
it was like
special
it was
effects.
like a green screen, whatever. But
Yeah.
but that was gonna be kind of what the shape of it, which is
wow.
why they had that. How do you not?
I never heard of this.
This is bananas. You've never heard of this.
That's crazy.
No, this is him. I know how it looks because his arm is weird, but that was like a alien thing he was wearing. But that's him with Carl Weathers. That's actually Van Damme. That's on. The
That's a
set.
real photo?
That's a real photo. That is not Photoshop. This is a photo they constantly use in their retrospectives where they talk about him being in the film. But
It looks.
here's
Photoshopped.
another like it's them like another shot from the same series of shots.
This could be just the internet conspiracy.
Are you on drugs? Are you? How do you not believe me? Can you look it up, please? Could somebody please?
All right. I believe you.
You know, when Jean-Claude Van Damme played the Predator from Den of Geek, okay? It says Jean-Claude Van Damme was the title alien in Predator before he was hurriedly recast. Wait, what? This is from June of this year. In the early 1980s, Belgian martial artist Jean-Claude Van
This
Damme...
is a new story.
It's been known for a few years now, but this is like because the Predator's coming out, the stories are starting to come up, and it's like apparently it's not as well known as you didn't even know that you're a big Predator fan.
Yeah, I've watched all the document like on the I have the Ultimate.
I don't
edition.
think
I
they're
have
in the
multiple
DVD,
editions of Predator, and they've never mentioned it.
It's like the Eric Stoltz thing from Back to the Future.
I know,
what
but
mean?
they kind of gloss over that even in the Back to the Future.
Exactly,
stuff.
they don't
Like,
show a lot of
some
footage.
scenes, and they're like, we just don't want to like shit on Eric Stoltz.
Yeah, exactly,
like,
which is nice.
Which is basically what you're doing when you say you fired him and you shot half the movie with him or whatever.
So Van Damme arrived in America with dreams of stardom, possessing a finely honed physique thanks to years of training in karate, kickboxing, and ballet. He was ambitious and brimming with self-belief. The acting bug bit Van Damme while he was still in his teens. He played a bad guy, blah, 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 script all this shit, blah, blah, blah. He was He did No Retreat, No Surrender in 86, so I was right about that. And then he was then cast... Producer Joel Silver was working on his next project, a sci-fi action vehicle for Schwarzenegger, who just had a decent-sized hit with Commando. It was called Hunter at the time, the script. Predator was called Hunter, right? It was famously based on a joke doing the rounds in Hollywood during the mid-'80s who would fight Rocky Balboa after his 85 clash with Ivan Drago, an alien from outer space. The idea was born out of that kind of joke.
Oh, wow.
Right? So from that, Predator was born, blah, blah, blah. Let's skip ahead. This is a long-ass fucking article about bullshit. Obviously, we know John McTiernan comes on, the guy who directed Die Hard, directed the original Predator. The actor who would play the Predator was chosen. It was Van Damme. For Van Damme, getting hired as a title creature in a major Hollywood movie must have seemed extraordinarily exciting. Sure, he'd be playing the villain again, but this time he'd be on screen with one of the era's biggest action stars, Schwarzenegger. Van Damme seemed to think that the amount of makeup and prosthetics required to make him the Predator could have been quite minimal. He said, this is in a interview in '89, they said I would be in a tight leotard with half human, half animal makeup on my face, so more visible, like you'd be able to see him.
Yeah.
This way, he'd be able to run and jump and do spinning kicks and all the other things he specialized in. But gradually, reality dawned. The alien outfit would be large and difficult to move around in, and little, if anything, of the real Jean-Claude would appear on screen. He said, they did a cast of my body. My feet were in the cast of the alien. My hands were in the forearms. My head was in the neck. I was moving everything with cables. So he just became a glorified puppeteer, basically.
Oh, yeah. I would have walked if that was the case.
Because that wasn't what he
Especially if
thought
you're
was going to
trying
happen.
to-
Yeah, you're trying to become a big actor, and all of a sudden you're just like this guy, unrecognizable. You're not going to even have dialogue.
Yeah.
What they needed was a character with backward bent reptilian legs, extended arms, and a head that was out here. The makeup artist said they wanted to shoot on the muddy slopes of Mexico in the real jungles. It was virtually physically impossible to do. I told them it wouldn't work. Jean-Claude had put on a brave face while having his body cast. There's even a photo of him smiling uneasily as he stands topless next to a large white mold of himself in the workshop. But when Van Damme returned for his costume fitting, the grim task ahead suddenly hit home. Jean-Claude comes in, and we're fitting him in this red suit and just assuming, like the slaves that we are, that the higher-ups have told him exactly what's going on. But he thought this was actually the real look of the monster in the movie, and he was like, I hate this, I hate this, I hate it. I look like a superhero. He was so angry. This is, pre-superheroes being cool.
Is that what it says in the article?
Yeah. As the actor was strapped into his suit, little did he know that worse was to come. The red version of the suit was designed to be keyed out at the post-production stage, thus creating the distinctive invisibility effect, which proved to be such a highlight in the finished film. There's actually footage in the film of some of those ones where he's invisible looking, are the footage of Van Damme, in with that red suit, and they just
the second I saw the suit in the photo, I was like, oh, I wonder if they used that for the invisibility
and they did.
scenes.
Not every scene, but a lot of them were done that way. But they didn't even tell Van Damme he was going to be invisible in the movie.
Maybe he'll make a comeback in this new one.
Yeah, you go. I'm like
Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude.
walk by. Or
the Predator.
They're like, I'm like John.
Take him out.
So this is the guy who's fitting him for the suit. Goes, I'm
Well,
like,
come on. Can you imagine Jean-Claude Van Damme doing backflips and flying kicks and all that shit as the Predator? Like the Predator literally would just swing his arm and then Arnold would go flying into a tree. To me, that was far more intimidating than a karate Predator.
Yeah, exactly. That wouldn't have been.
Karate Predator seems stupid.
Exactly. So the guy who's fitting him into the suit goes, I'm like Jean-Claude. Did no one tell you? It's a cloaking device. You're invisible for half of the picture. This is not you, which made him even angrier because he thought he could do his martial arts. He could fight Arnold Schwarzenegger. Impossible. Absolutely impossible. Then
Arnold's not a karate guy.
Yeah, production was already well underway with filming taking place in Mexico. The shoot had been grueling. The heat was intense. The terrain was rough. There were bouts of illness, and McTiernan lost about 25 pounds because he refused to eat the local food. Nevertheless, Predator's tough cast with Schwarzenegger joined by the Carl Weathers, all these guys. Sonny Landham, which was the guy that was out of prison.
That's
apparently.
actually funny about the refusing to eat food thing, guys. I recently watched speaking of Arnold, I recently watched this whole behind the scenes thing on Total Recall.
Yeah.
And everyone on the film got sick.
Yeah.
According to the director, Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah.
And Arnold showed up with his own chef. Since he had worked in Mexico before, I guess, and he was just like, "Fuck, I'm bringing my own chef. Who's going to cook import food from the States or whatever, and he's going to make me meals every day." And then the chef got sick because
he wasn't allowed to eat the
chef
food.
Wasn't eating his own
crazy.
chef. And so Arnold, he couldn't cook, so Arnold had to eat the local food, and then Arnold got sick. And I'm like, the whole story is fucking hilarious, but people got violently ill, violently ill.
That's crazy.
So here's what happened. They were shooting without any Predator in sight. The costume hadn't arrived. Nobody, all this stuff. And then all of a sudden, they finally get the large box with the much anticipated costume inside it. We took the crowbars and opened the crate, McTiernan recalled, lifted it out of the box, looked at each other and said, we're in trouble. The supposedly deadly creature, able to hold its own against a platoon of muscle-bound 80s action heroes, looked worryingly apologetic. It looked like a guy in a lizard suit with the head of a duck. was how Schwarzenegger would later describe it. Maybe if you shoot it from a low angle, it'll look bigger, one producer suggested. McTiernan and his crew, perhaps gritting their teeth by this point, decided to put Van Damme in the suit and see how it all looked on camera.
Yeah.
Production photos show Jean-Claude being helped into his Predator costume, its ungainly rubber shoulders slumping. In one picture, we see McTiernan pulling on one of the Predator's red rubber arms with its pointy claws, smiling wanly. In
This
another
is a long article.
I know. I'm trying. I skipped a lot.
Yeah,
of
there's a
shit.
fucking.
Diego's falling asleep.
I'm fucking falling asleep here, man. What the fuck?
All right. hold
It
on.
is interesting,
Yeah,
though.
can-
It
Yeah,
is very
and I'm
interesting.
really skipping a lot of shit trying to give you the
Can
highlights.
we just skip the rest?
No, because he's listening. No,
No.
Neil,
I get the gist of it.
I
get
wanted
the
to
gist
say
of
what
it.
happened with Van Damme at
He
the
just
end.
keeps.
Okay, so yeah.
Van Damme is staring. It was clear with. And then those are the shrieking eels.
He's not gonna-
Grandpa, you already read that part.
It's like fucking reading Rainbow right here and shit.
Okay, this is what McTiernan
Nick's
said.
not gonna. He's gonna
not
keep
gonna
all
stop.
of this in.
Here's
He's
what
gonna keep
McTiernan
all of
said.
this.
The
He won't
director
stop.
goes, I just remember looking through the trees and seeing this giant red thing coming at us like this lumbering movement, just exactly what we were trying not to have. It was just impossible. I shot a shot, 2 shots, then I sent it back to the studio saying, you really don't want us to continue with this, do you? Then they looked at it and said, no way, stop. And that's what basically happened. We started to worry as soon as we started test shooting, and after a few scenes, the worry crystallized, Schwarzenegger said. The creature didn't work. It was hokey. It didn't look believable.
It's amazing that they went from that
Yep.
to the fucking even now. Like I watched the original Predator and like
Yeah.
it's what Stan Winston.
Yeah.
His like
I think,
company
yeah, he did
It's,
it with
like,
the-
fucking incredible.
Those pincers was
Yeah.
James Cameron's idea.
Really?
Yeah, he came up. He's like, I think this would be really cool to have these pincers and,
And
like
they like open.
it's
they
called
come
yeah.
out and they're like
Yeah.
And that's called something that's like biologically called something that kind of look like certain
It's like
creatures have it.
spiders have it.
Yeah, so
Right? Don't
it was
spiders
James
have
Cameron's
that?
idea, and I think he even sketched it out. He was like on a plane with McTiernan or Schwarzenegger or somebody.
Yeah.
It was his idea. Fucking James Cameron. By the
Well,
way, James Cameron wrote
Cameron-
Rambo 2. I just
Cameron
watched
worked
that-
with
Cameron did
Roger
everything.
Corman
Yeah.
for years. So
Yeah.
like it's like
Creatures.
a monster. Yeah, he's like a creature guy.
So Schwarzenegger
He was a
even
special
said,
effects guy.
Yeah, Schwarzenegger even said, also Jean-Claude Van Damme, who was playing the Predator, was a relentless complainer. So, anyways, they all kind of just parted ways. There's more. That's half the article. It's still going.
All right.
And we're at the end.
Everyone
of the story.
should check it out. Everyone should check
fucking-
that
But,
article
but
out.
there's YouTube videos on it. You can just go watch some YouTube videos that just describe this, show the footage, show some of the pictures. It's interesting. Van Damme could have been the Predator.
I don't want to see it because now I'm gonna rewatch Predator and then think
You're gonna see.
of Jean-Claude. I'm gonna see.
I think it's that scene where he's
I know
running
everything
through
about the
the
fucking
woods
Predator at
and he's
this point.
dragging
I don't need to watch
Hawkins
it
or
again.
somebody. Or he's dragging somebody through the woods. I
and
think
you
it's
can
Hawkins.
see the body.
But it's got that invisibility cloak, so it's not
Yeah.
as obvious. But you can tell it's not the same shape
Oh, wow.
as the Predator. Anyways, I think that's fascinating. I'm sorry if I was just kind of going through.
I will say I'm like
You have a
kind of.
focusing problem.
So
That's
you
your problem.
haven't
I don't have a
seen-
focusing problem. I just like, damn, dude, that was a long
That
ass
was a long
Dude,
article,
I'm like
dude.
looking at like 10
I
minutes.
did my best.
You
but I
did your
thought that
best.
was-
Thank you, Nick.
I'm sure that everyone that listens to this episode had no fucking idea.
Yeah, then that's
Diego,
what I was
did
trying
you know?
to give you a lot of information.
No,
without
I
just
didn't
doing
know.
it on replay.
I
That's
honestly did
crazy.
not
Yeah,
know.
I'd never heard of this.
That's cool though, right?
Yeah, that is pretty
and this is,
interesting.
by the way, this
what
is
would
a
be
year
funny is
before
if you
Bloodsport.
ad-libbed all that shit and just totally made it up and it's not true at all.
I'm the fucking master. No, but this
It was
was a
like
year
a
before
20-minute
Bloodsport,
ad-lib.
so you
That
know
would be-
he then obviously got his big break
Yeah.
with Bloodsport.
The thing that for some reason always bothered me is I really liked. I did enjoy the Alien vs Predator film and Alien vs Predator Requiem, even though Requiem's like a hard R, like
Yeah.
crazy shit happens in that movie. I don't like how the Predators looked. I like
They're
when the
shorter.
actor who passed away who played
Kevin
the Predator.
Peter Hall.
What is it?
Kevin Peter Hall.
Kevin Peter Hall.
He
yeah.
died at like before the second one came out, or right when the second one came out.
Yeah, yeah.
No,
he
2
was
years
like
later. Some 2
7
years
feet
later.
tall or something.
7'2", I think.
Thin, tall,
Black
like,
guy,
to
like
me,
really limber.
Yeah, like a really tall.
the Predator.
Like,
That's what he looked like in terms of his physicality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Predator had like a thin, tall
Yeah.
physique, and then in the later films, or in the AVP films, I should say, and even in Predators, like they're like these weird, short, dumpy looking,
Yeah.
like kind of muscled out.
Though at the end,
Like,
at the end of
not
Predator,
tall and thin.
but at the end of
Odor.
But at the end of Predator
like
2,
Hodors,
we
basically.
saw all those Predators at the end of Predator 2, and I can't remember. I mean, you couldn't really tell their height, maybe, but they all look
Oh,
bigger,
you're
didn't
right,
they?
yeah.
You saw it like at the end when he's on the ship, and
well,
all
they
of
were
them
more.
appear.
That was just like more slim. Like they didn't. I'm telling you, like you
They
haven't
look
seen.
different,
You haven't
yeah.
seen when you watch Predators, you'll be like, they're kind of like.
They all look like Van Damme.
Well, they all have this like like
What?
ridiculous, not Van Damme. Like
They're
Van
like
Damme is
little,
more-
they're like jockeys.
No,
They're just like
no.
little jockeys.
I don't know what to compare.
They look
them
like
to. They're
Universal
like-
soldiers.
They're like the mountains. They're like, you know, that actor who plays the Mountain on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That like dude
he's
who's
big.
like,
He's big though.
yeah, that's how these predators are. Like they have
They're
like all
broad.
this-
You mean they're
no,
like
their
jacked
arms
up.
are like this thick and
So they're
shit.
jacked. They're not lean.
it's
like slim
the
predators.
polar opposite
Okay.
of the guy from the first.
Because
two
I
films.
like it because yes, he's muscular, he's all that, but he's long and he's limber and he's like there's physicality to him. He's not just like, you know, thundering through or like like a giant.
And you can even there's even scenes where the predators are like running in like Alien vs. Predator or Predators where you can hear like they're so heavy it's like boom 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 and I'm like
they're not stealthy because Predator's
that's
supposed to be
not a
stealthy.
predator.
Yeah,
They're
he's
not
supposed to be
like King
stealthy
Kong.
and quiet and
yeah,
slick.
that always like bothered me. I was like, why are they so dumpy?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I really.
I
wanna
just
see
hope
it.
they're not dumpy in this new one.
Yeah, I can't tell. Which makes me want to see the movie. Because they did look like there's a giant fucking predator in
Yeah,
the movie.
they
The other
did-
one looks scared shitless standing in
That
front of him.
could be the human predator, but that doesn't even make sense. Like, how do they make?
I don't
the
know if
giant-
that's there's a hybrid. I don't know. I want to see the movie.
No, there might be a
I hope they
hybrid,
don't
and then
do
the.
that.
Yeah.
Do you,
All right, so all right. Previously, 15 minutes ago, the reason why I'm not so.
Oh yeah, you were gonna say
into.
that.
and then he went off on the.
Hold on, another article.
Yeah. No, it was a good article. I did not know that. So
Yeah, it was very interesting.
I just wanted to give you accurate information, not just like be like, oh, this is the few lines of things I remember.
yeah, I love the short
Yeah.
version of your accurate information.
All that kind of stuff like is fascinating to me.
Yeah,
Like
it
all
is.
the
Yeah, it's
weird
really cool.
pre-production.
Yeah,
like,
and
even-
anybody listening to the podcast, hopefully,
not
is
to.
good too.
I'm gonna not to cut you, but even like Total Recall,
worry.
where like what's his name? Who's
Ronnie
his,
Cox.
the Ghost guy, the guy from Ghost. Oh God, what's his
Tony
name?
Goldwyn
passed away. The
Patrick
guy,
Swayze.
Patrick Swayze was
Yeah.
gonna play what's his name? From-
Cohagen?
No,
No,
he
no.
was-
Arnold
Doug,
Schwarzenegger's part.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's
Doug,
character.
Doug,
yeah, Doug. Whatever.
Quaid.
Quaid.
Yeah, Doug Quaid.
Quaid.
Yeah, Douglas Quaid.
Douglas Quaid, yeah.
Yeah. They were shooting a film. They actually started production anyway.
Yeah.
I just thought that was so interesting. Like that got canned, and then like 10 years later, Arnold picks it up. And,
It's amazing.
they
Like, these
changed the whole
stories of
film.
like who
It's
almost played,
intertwined.
you know, blah character, who almost played this character. That's
But
interesting.
Even if you watch I feel like I'm totally cutting you off.
You have. Everybody
But even-
have. I mean, that's common. What the fuck? I mean, I don't
I'm
care.
sorry.
I got my phone. I got Angry Birds.
Don't be apologetic. Don't
I'm
humor him.
sorry, but even in the Total Recall, the making of Total Recall, like they talk like the original script was like so different from what ended up on film. Like Paul Verhoeven like changed the entire thing.
Verhoeven is not his name. You keep doing that. It's Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven.
He said Verhoeven.
Verhoeven.
Verver.
Verhoeven. That's what you always say.
The whole
Verhoeven. Sounds like a fucking
concept of
vacuum.
like the whole concept of him being the bad guy and then like
Yeah.
switching around. That was all. They just pulled all that shit out of their ass and
Really?
like altered the script to have that in there. Like that wasn't in the
I
original
love that.
script. Yeah,
I love that.
Like there's so much about.
He planted himself
changing.
in, and
Yeah.
he's spying on him. Like he's a spy. He doesn't know he's a spy, but he's the one who put himself in as a spy.
And he was a piece of shit, and then he becomes like a good guy who
Like,
like,
his-
doesn't want to
his-
go back to being a piece of shit.
His
Anyway.
fake personality grows a conscience and becomes a different person.
Yeah, and is like, right.
It's not like he sees the video and then flips to the bad guy.
Can you imagine that? Can you imagine being somebody and then
It's like
erasing everything and then having a false past and a false memory and being a completely different personality and then finding out you were this completely different person with a real past and real memories.
It's like
and then
long-
they're like, nah, we're not going back to that.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm staying with the fake shit.
It's like Long Kiss Goodnight, you know, where she has that fake personality, and then she used to be an assassin. By the way, I'm bringing it full circle with this one. You know who wrote Long Kiss Goodnight? Shane Black.
Shane
Let's
Black.
talk about
There we go.
Predator. Go ahead.
So why do you think the Predator's gonna be amazing, Diego?
Previously on the Discovery
I did a
Channel.
good segue. They
That was
did
a
the
good
same
segue. That
thing.
was
It was
good.
That was a
Total Recall.
great
Long Kiss Goodnight,
segue.
Shane Black to the
We have
Predator.
to let
I don't
them
even
know.
want to tell my story
No,
anymore.
no. Sorry.
I'm being
so sorry.
sentimental.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. What? Go ahead.
No, I don't agree with you. I'm not that
You don't.
excited.
You're not excited.
I'm not excited.
Why not?
I feel like it's like it seems like a rerun script
Of Requiem, like a
of
AVP
Requiem. The
version.
more he
Yeah.
said that, the more I saw more of
You can-
Requiem.
it's real obvious,
I
yeah.
think it's gonna be that level of quality.
What's funny is even the scene, like you haven't seen Requiem.
Look, don't get
but
me
the
wrong,
scene
I
with
I
the-
hope
have faith
not.
in the director, and that's.
I
what
think
I'm
I hope
putting my faith
not.
in.
I have
Yeah.
faith in so many directors, and they have failed me, and I still have faith in them.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think this right here is very difficult for a director to come from where he comes from and do sci-fi film. Sci-fi, you have to sci-fi in these films that have CGIs in it, and that's the heavy part of the storytelling. It's hard because you have to visually see something that's not there, and you have to visually tell the story to yourself and to the other crew members and to everybody that's involved and it's not there for them to see, and they have to see it through you, and you have to be well crafted to do that.
Right.
I'm not saying he's not or he is. I'm just saying he might not have. This might just be his first experience doing that, so it might not fully come out like it's come to, because the script already, the trailers just totally remind me of Requiem or just another film
Even
where
the little boy.
the
Remember
little boy
in the beginning of Requiem, there's a little boy because
there's a little boy.
the Predator ship crashes in the woods outside of a small town, exactly like this trailer. It's so weird how similar it is.
Don't get me wrong. I hope not. I love the Predator. I love that storyline, but it seems like they're throwing in elements of like Stranger Things and all that stuff. I see that because Stranger Things.
I like the
that
cast.
Military building, which everything was focused on, where everything came from. It seems like another ship, First of all, Predators can't fucking fly a ship because almost every fucking film they fucking crash that shit. Don't fly. There's no
the
pilot.
first couple
No,
they come
no, no.
to
Don't
Earth
fucking-
intentionally.
There's a reason why they crash.
They always crash.
No,
But
but the
don't
first two
got-
they didn't crash. They came to Earth because it's a trophy. It's a game. The first two weren't crashing.
And the first
the
one,
ship was crashed.
right in the beginning of the first film, the ship.
Remember, they're
No,
hunting
every
for
crash,
trophies.
they crashed back into the ground because of Danny Glover, right?
No. He
On the
ends up
second
on
one.
the ship. Well, the guy goes back to his ship and he follows him onto the ship.
Yeah,
and
that
they end up being
landed.
there. And they take off. They leave and leave him there. They gave him that little old Smith and
And then-
Wesson or whatever.
and the
What the
first
fuck was
film-
that big hole then?
That's because that's where it landed. If
It
you think
landed in
of
like it parked in a sewer. Remember, there was like
Y'all
a giant
call it
sewer.
landed, I call it crash. I really
There's a
don't
big
know.
wasn't a
difference.
crash.
There's a
It
big
wasn't-
difference. It's not crash
But
landing.
even in the first Predator, like you see that like the film literally starts and then you see the ship coming towards the camera and then it flies by Earth and then you see a little pod shoot out of it.
Pod
and the
shoot out,
pod
yeah.
crashes in South America.
All right, so
lands.
Or lands or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, they need to
just
update
drop
their
them off. But they
pods.
do the pod thing in Alien vs Predator, the first one. Remember, they're like you
Yeah.
see the pods like shoot out and then three of them. Yeah,
It's the second one which really let you know what the fuck's going on, because the first one there's not really an explanation of who this alien is or this predator,
it's
what's
Gary
going on.
Busey.
Yeah, but exactly. He let you know in the
I
second
love
one.
that.
And
whole
then the
scene
end where
and
it's like
the
he,
meat house or whatever.
Yeah, I love how
Yeah.
you learn it's like trophies. It's getting trophies. There's all this stuff. That was great.
Yeah.
But this new one, here's the thing.
Even the fact that they could switch to all the different
Yeah.
things, they thought they could only see infrared,
Different
and then
type
it was like
of
they could
vision,
see
thermal visions.
A thermal
Yeah.
vision, yeah. I liked it the second one. I liked that this movie. First off, I haven't seen Requiem, like Alien vs. Predator Requiem, so I don't see that similarity. You guys obviously are a little bit worried because of that. I haven't seen
Maybe
it, so
don't
didn't
watch
do that to
it.
me.
Don't watch it until you see this.
Okay, good.
Because
Well,
it might taint.
I
might
don't think
taint
it
it.
will, because here's the thing.
It seems like it's
I watched the
tainted me.
trailer and I'm like, I like the dialogue, I like the way the story, I like the visuals, I love this cast. I think this has a great cast in it, and I really like the writers and I like the director. Like, I just think that I have faith. He did, Shane Black did Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He did Nice Guys. He did Iron Man 3, which I think is actually solid. He, in terms of writing, this guy did the original Lethal Weapon. He did Last Boy Scout. He did Long Kiss Goodnight. He did Last Action Hero. He did all
Damon
these movies he
Wayans,
directed.
Last Boy
All the
Scout?
movies
Oh,
he
okay.
directed, he wrote all of them.
Look, no.
So I have faith in him as a director. I think
I
he's
don't
only
think
gotten
he
better.
hasn't done anything that you didn't like.
Exactly, and that's the
So,
thing. And
that's a
the
good
thing.
sign.
Exactly.
I'm not saying, look, I have faith when I pay $15 to go watch a fucking film that it's going to be good.
Yeah.
I have faith in when a director takes on something that hopefully it's going to be good, because that's their goal. That
Right.
Nobody wants to put out. But I guess to say it lightly is like, I think Predators out of these two films is going to be the better film.
The Robert Rodriguez film,
Yeah.
Predators.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then let's
I
see.
think it's going to be better.
I
and I
think,
think
well-
it's almost going to be at a level.
Well, we're going to
of
see it in
Requiem.
theaters, so let's
But
see.
Predators is like a very smart take on that. What I was saying before about
super-
that isolation thing. It was like
It's
it
a
took.
super smart take.
They
yeah.
added a bunch of characters, but they're also severely isolated. Like
And the
they're
twist-
cut off from
Like
other
there's
people.
that movie Predators was incredible because it gave homage to the first film. It was back in like in the jungle.
It
type
did.
of
That's what
era.
made it great.
And the creatures that they introduced in it, it all made sense. The whole storyline, and then the twist that they had in the film was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
It all was really, really, really well done. The twist, like I didn't expect the twist. I don't know if you did. If you know what I'm talking
Don't tell me.
about.
Don't
Yeah.
tell me.
No. We're not definitely not going to say it because I think, and it's a film like there's certain films where I feel like Nick, hey, this film's for you.
Right.
This film's
you would really.
I
like
bet
it.
I would like
Because
it. I'll be
it gives
honest.
homage, yeah.
I just haven't seen it, and I'll
I
watch
have it. I think
See,
I'm pretty sure I have it.
What's
yeah.
funny is he mentioned Topher Grace, but I I'm not a huge Topher Grace fan, but he is actually really good in this.
He's
movie.
By the way,
really
he was
great.
in the. I saw Black Klansman, Spike Lee film Black, and Topher Grace plays David Duke, the Grand Imperial Wizard
does
of
he?
the KKK.
He's a good
and he's
actor.
good in it. He
He's
is
not a
good.
bad
He is
actor.
Good. Yeah, he's just not a great Venom. But
Oh,
Predator
right.
2
That's
is
why
funny
everybody
because
hates
Predator
them.
2, seemingly, I haven't seen those other Predator movies, but like all of them are kind of more claustrophobic. They're intimate, they're smaller. But Predator 2 takes place across the landscape of Los Angeles. It's not actually a claustrophobic scene, but the scenes in it that are claustrophobic,
But
like in
Predator
the subway.
2 is almost like a film noir. Like it's a murder mystery. Like he's trying to solve what
He's a
the
cop.
fuck
He's
is
a
going
detective,
on.
yeah.
He's trying to like Arnold wasn't really doing that. Like they were being
Well, they were
picked
trying to
off
find out
one
what
by
happened
one.
to those guys. Remember, that's why they came.
Right
They
in the
were trying to
beginning, but
find-
then after the first guy got picked off, like then it just became a matter of like,
Survival.
let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Like who's doing this?
Exactly,
Because
but-
a lot happens before the guy gets picked off. Like they go
Yeah.
to the village, they
The
take out all
drug
those
guys,
guys.
yeah.
They like trying to save the hostages, and then they get taken out, and it's like you're like, oh well, this is just like Commando.
it's a
Here's
normal
what we
thing,
should
and then
do.
it takes a fucking turn. And
Here's
then
what we
they
should
found the
do.
guy skinned alive,
They found that before they
yeah,
'cause
that was the
thought
first thing
those
they found.
guys
Those were the guys
ones
they
that
got.
skinned
They went
them.
there for.
Yeah,
They
that
went
was
there
his
to
buddy.
find. Yeah.
That was,
We should
what
do
was his
a-
name? I've seen it so many times.
What?
I should know. The
dog
guy.
tags, the
Yeah,
dog-
the dog tags.
yeah.
He's like, I just remember he gets it. He catches. He throws it. And he like catches it. And he looks at it. And he's like, cut them down. I've seen that movie so many times.
We should do a pot like next time when the film comes out. We should go see it, and we should do comparisons.
And you should
See
watch
I'll watch
Alien
that one.
vs Predator, Alien vs Predator Requiem, and Predators.
Dude, this week
no,
I
yeah,
watched
what we-
all three the first three Rambo films, so I can watch all the Alien movies in like a week or two. So or all the Predator
I don't.
ones.
Yeah, don't watch the Alien versus Predator ones. Just watch
No?
Predators.
I'll watch them. No, I want to watch them. I will watch Predators
before-
first. No, it came out before. No,
What I'm saying, watch Predators.
AVP
watch,
and Requiem came out before Predators.
No, but there's not. They're not connected.
They're not connected at all.
Yeah, it's connected to the
I'm a
first.
There's
chronological guy,
Predators
though.
in it.
I'm a chronological guy, so I'm gonna watch all of them.
So here's
I'll
the
bang
thing.
them out. I'll bang them out. It won't mess me up.
Predators
fuck
is
you
connected.
up.
It's not gonna fuck me up. I'll be fine.
Yeah, here's
Requiem
why you
is
should
like
watch
the same movie.
You shouldn't watch Aliens versus.
don't know that. You've only seen the
Predators.
trailer.
Yeah, here's why you shouldn't watch Aliens versus Predators.
Don't ever tell me I
because
shouldn't
it
watch the
doesn't.
movie.
Well, I'm telling you
Okay,
why.
go ahead.
I'm
Speak,
trying to
speak,
fucking
speak,
help
speak,
this
speak, speak.
Because
I'm not gonna.
it's not
no,
connected
don't
to
tell me
the
why.
first one and
Piece of
second one. He is a dick, man.
Go ahead.
Because Predators is connected to the first one, and this one's that's getting ready to come out is connected to the second one. So that's why you should watch Predators, then watch the second one.
This
then
one
watch-
coming out is not connected. It acknowledges the first
It
and second movie.
acknowledges both. The
Yeah,
first,
yeah.
that's what I meant to say.
Okay.
Acknowledges first.
Well,
and
once
the
you see
second one.
Predators,
it.
you'll understand.
Then after you watch the new one that comes out, then you should watch Requiem.
Okay, good.
But do what the fuck you want, because
Exactly.
that's what you're gonna do.
Honestly,
Ruin your shit,
if I had
fucker.
done what I was supposed to do, I would have seen all these movies already. Honestly, so I don't really feel like, oh no, it's gonna mess me up. If I had my head out of my ass, I would have seen these Predator movies.
I just don't know how you haven't seen Predators.
I know. I get it. It's just.
It's like those rare moments where like.
Was it 09?
Although I feel like there's a lot of movies that are like
Yeah, you haven't seen
popular
Training
films
Day.
that,
You haven't seen
know.
Training
There
Day.
is.
Full Metal Jacket. Training Day is like not an older.
What's
film,
funny is like
it was 03
like,
or something.
But to me, Training Day is not Predator. It's not the sequel to Predator.
I
You know what I mean?
Denzel
Like I
won
don't.
an Oscar for it. It's a solid fucking.
No,
good
I know.
film.
I know what it's about, and I've seen parts of it, and I know how it ends.
I'd say it's a classic.
Like
though.
there's a bunch about that film that I've seen.
But it's not connected to your childhood.
It's not like having not seen Back to the Future or Jurassic Park or Die Hard or
Yeah,
Predator. I
don't know. I have more. Like I'm more. I'll lean more towards like the science fiction, like those kind of films, like Back to the Future, Predator. Like
Though there is a movie recently, I feel like you said you hadn't seen. I was like, what? Oh, God,
There
what
always
was that?
is.
But it was like
80s?
a classic
80s
film
movie?
in the last like 20
you're not talking
years.
about that Sylvester Stallone arm wrestling movie, are you?
Over the top! What do you mean that arm wrestling
What
movie?
is that?
Dismiss.
Yeah, remember? Meet me halfway.
These fucking guys.
It was a
That
canon
was a canon film, I know.
How
I know.
have you not-
Oh, American Ninja is on Prime now. If you have a Prime membership, you can
American
stream
Ninja.
American Ninja. Yeah,
Oh,
on
nice.
Prime.
I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love American Ninja. God, I love.
Those
There's a
canon
bunch of
films.
those
Canon.
canon films. Yeah.
All right, so we should.
I know you
Anyways,
were
what
doing
I was-
that. Remember those TV shows that TV studio Deke, D-I-C?
Oh yeah, Deke, and it was like some
Deke.
kid that was
Yeah.
like Deke.
Like, did that kid just say Dick?
Yeah, that kid definitely said Dick.
Here's what we should do. We should do after we watch the film that come out. The Predator that comes out in theater. We should do just a quick recap.
We should.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll do all the Predator films, like a retrospective on all the Predator films.
Yeah.
And we'll rate
Are we
them.
including AVP in that?
Yeah, all the Predator.
We should.
Any movies
Any
that
film that the
Predator
Predator's
related.
been
Yes,
involved,
absolutely.
Okay.
I'll watch them.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us here at Get to the Podcast. Let's get to the podcast with the number 2. My name is Tiago D'Souza.
I'm Nick Gambino.
And I'm Neil Carson.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the podcast. That was terrible. Hold on, that was not a good impression.
Get to the chopper.
It's not easy being
Good
Arnold.
job.
I feel like we're doing like Kermit the Frog.
I don't want
I know
to
you
sue.
kind of have to have like a little,
Like a
Yeah,
back
like a-
throat thing.
like a Heil Hitler or something.
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.